we're going to jump on our mats on our hands and knees. So that's where we'll start today. And as I said, we're going to do a lot of upper back, lower back stuff. So if you have any injuries or anything, modify if you know how to modify, but pop in the chat if you need any help. But we're just going to start. You can be on your elbows, or if you want to start on your back, how we usually start, you can do that as well and go through our other setup if you don't want to be on hands and knees for too long. But we're here. We're just going to start with our breathing. So we want a nice flat back. We're just going to start by taking that deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale out through the mouth. And just really try and relax. You can breathe and let your belly relax. Or you can just focus on breathing out into your rib cage. And just really start to settle yourself into the space. As we breathe, what I want you to start doing is drawing that bottom part of your belly, like right across your hips, just below your belly button in. So we're taking that deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're just drawing the bottom part of the belly up. So we're lifting bottom part of the belly and starting to engage that transverse abdominis. And then once you've got that sort of working and activating, we're going to start to activate our pelvic floor as well. So we take that breath in. And as we exhale and draw that transverse up, we're going to lift the pelvic floor up as well. So engage pelvic floor as high as you can. So remember, it sort of feels like stopping yourself from going to the toilet. If we draw in too hard here, it's not going to lift as high. So make sure you find that nice balance between pelvic floor and transverse. And remember that if you need any help throughout the class, you can always switch it on and switch it off. So it doesn't have to be on all the time. We're going to be laying on our belly, so you don't need to have it fully activated. It should do it on its own. But if you do have any issues with your pelvic floor and you need to activate it throughout the session, then you know how to do it. So let's just let that relax, and let's just start from our posture. So we're going to start with the head. So as we inhale, we're just going to lift head up as high as we can. And then as we exhale, we're just going to bring chin to our chest. So we inhale to look up. And we exhale, tuck chin to chest. And then we just find halfway. So we're sort of looking not down in between our hands, but sort of straight down in front of our eyes, chin slightly tucked. So the back of our neck's nice and long. Then from here, we're just going to set our shoulders. So as we inhale, we're going to let the chest sink into the floor. And as we exhale, we're going to press into the hands and try and round the shoulders a little bit. So we inhale to let the chest sink into the floor without bending the elbows. Exhale to press and round. Inhale, release. Exhale, press and round. Turn it on. My notifications. I forgot to do that. Right, so then finding halfway. So I want to find halfway between those 2 points, right? And then from here, we're just going to do the pelvis. So we're going to inhale. I want you to pull your belly up as you do this. So inhale, pull your belly up as you tuck and round the pelvis. And then as you, did I say, I think I said exhale. And then inhale, relax. So exhale to pull belly in and round. Inhale, relax, and arch. So really try and use those abdominal muscles to really pull belly in and up, and working, trying to pull your pubic bones to your belly button using those abdominals. So you're really trying to curl up. Last one. And then again, we find halfway. So you should be a nice flat table, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. We're just going to start with our opposite arm, opposite leg extension. So as we inhale, we relax. As we exhale, we're just going to change opposite arm and leg, extend. Try and squeeze your glute. Try not to drop the back. And then inhale to come back down. So remember, it's not about height. And then we change sides. We exhale. And then we inhale. What you want to do is you want to really press into that opposite hand, opposite knee, so that you have that engagement across your core, but you have that balance as well. So the more that you can engage into that opposite hand and knee, the more supported and balanced you're going to be. Obviously, if you don't have a lot of space, you can do just arm or just leg. It's up to you. I'm just slightly lifting above my couch, which is actually a good height. And then we make sure that we keep the hips nice and level. So the hips are level. So even as we extend back, we're not letting one hip lift up. We're keeping that nice and level. You're going to do one more on each side. Then we're going to come to our belly. Actually, have to adjust my mat a little here. I have a bit more space. All right, so coming onto your belly, we're just going to start with our hands under our chin. So hands are under our chin. We're relaxed, shoulders down away from ears, and the chin slightly tucked up. You take a deep breath in here. Then as we exhale, without pressing into the hands, we're just going to curl up as we exhale, trying to draw shoulders down away from your ears. And then inhale, coming back down. So we exhale to lift up. Inhale to lower down. Now I want you to take the feet hip width apart, heels slightly turned in, so that our glutes are a little bit activated. And if you need to, we can tuck the pelvis a little bit and just try and draw that bottom part of the belly in as well, just so that we have that little bit more core support. Now, if you want to go level 2, you can lift and hands come up off the floor and then inhale down. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower. And again, making sure that as we lift, shoulders are coming down away from our ears. Where we really want to target is right between the bottom part of our shoulder blades. The bottom part of our shoulder blades, that's where like that stabilizing muscle is. It's the bottom of our trapezius, and that's often the weakest part. So we really want to make sure that we're strengthening that part rather than up the top here, or often when we say squeeze your shoulder blades together, we squeeze and then we elevate a little bit. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're dropping shoulders down and trying to bring the bottoms of our shoulder blades together. That way we get that really weak part of our trapezius. All right, so just relaxing down, and we're just going to go into our single leg kick, it's called. So as we exhale, inhale to bring heel into your bottom, exhale, lift it up, and then inhale to extend away. So we inhale up, Lachlan, exhale, lift. You can hold it here for a second, and then inhale away. Now I want to make sure that we're activating glutes and not so much through our lower back. So we want to lift, but it's not too high. So if we lift too high and we're lifting through the hip, we're going to just tense up that lower back a little too much. So really make sure that we don't lift hip too much, keep the hip down, and we're just squeezing and engaging through the glutes. I'm going to take one more to each side. And you want to think about lengthening the leg away from the body. So as you extend back, you're really extending away as if I've got your ankle. All right, so next one from here, we're going to extend the arms out in front, shoulders down away from the ears. So we take that deep breath in. As we exhale, we're lifting up and then squeezing in, elbows together or elbows behind your back. Inhale, forward. So exhale, lift, squeeze in, draw those shoulder blades together. Remember, dropping shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, relax. So you're going to feel this one all the way sort of from that middle part of your back all the way down to that lower part of your back. Now, I don't think there is, but if there are any pregnant people on, you can do all the lying stuff. You just need to get a couple of pillows, place them under your ribs, place them under your hips so you've elevated, so you've got space for your belly. So you can still do these ones. You just need to elevate yourself so that you've got a space for your stomach to go. These were amazing when I was pregnant because my back was just so tense. So it was good to strengthen. Last one here. Then we're just going to relax back, hands under chin. I'm going to bring heels together, knees turned out. And again, trying not to arch that lower back too much. And we're just lifting knees up off the mat, squeezing heels together. Inhale to come down. So exhale, squeeze, heels, lift, knees, inhale down. So we really want to make sure that we're not lifting those hips up. You're almost trying to really press pubic bone into the floor. And you're just lifting. You can see there's like barely any movement. So we've got 3 more. Make sure that we're breathing that deep breath out as we lift. Deep breath in as we lower. Last one, we're going to lift and you're going to hold. So really squeeze heels together. We're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and relax. So taking hands back out on a bit of an angle this time. So you're making a Y with your body. Chin is tucked. So this one we come up and we come up into a Y, and we're not lifting our upper body too much. So chest stays a little bit down this time. So we come up, we lift into the Y. We want to draw our shoulders down away from the ears. Then we inhale to relax. I'm going to bring the hands out to the side. We come into a T. We're lifting arms up, squeezing shoulder blades together, and then inhale to relax. Then we come down into a V. And this one, you want to actually try and lengthen your arms away from your body. Lift up slightly. Again, drawing shoulder blades together, and then inhale to relax. And then we go through again. So back into our Y. Deep breath in as we exhale, we lift. And drawing shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale to relax. And out to the side. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Remember, bottom of the shoulder blades is where we're trying to squeeze. Inhale to release. Arms down, lift, really lengthen away. So imagine that on that one, I've got your hands and I'm trying to pull them towards your feet. That's what I want you to imagine. So keep working through that YT and V. Really good back strengthening ones, and your back should be starting to really feel like it's being worked. So really trying to activate mainly through that upper back. So the upper back is where we want to feel it. You want your between the shoulder blades to be feeling a little bit of a burn. Chatterbox over there. Yes, we hear you. We're going to take one more round through. So last round through. Last one here. And then just bringing hands into your rib cage. Relax the shoulders. We're just going to start deep breath in. And as we take a deep breath out to relax, as we inhale, we just want to roll up halfway. So just as far as we can without placing any pressure into our hands. And we exhale to relax back down. So we inhale to curl up as high as we can without putting that pressure into our hands. Inhale back down. exhaling to lift. Inhale to lift, exhale to relax. Sorry, almost forgot. I was moving on to the next breathing. So now we inhale halfway, and as we exhale, we're pressing into the hands to come up, look up, hold for a breath in, and then exhale to slowly roll back down. Really important to keep the elbows right into the side of your body. So again, halfway with the inhale, exhale, press, look up, and then inhale to hold, exhale to release. We'll take 2 more. And the last one here. And then just press back. Just give yourself a little bit of a break. Come to child's pose. And take a couple of deep breaths here. So just let the hips open up. Feel the stretch. And then we're going to come to hands and knees again. So I'm going to work a little bit more on that mobility through our middle part of our spine. So hands and knees. Remember the setup, hands directly under shoulders, knees are directly under hips. So from here, using our left hand, we're going to reach through. So we bend the elbow a little bit, we reach through, and then I just want you to touch your shoulder first. And then try and rotate as much as you can without shifting your weight to that right foot. So keep the weight through that left knee, and then inhale to return. Exhale, touch the shoulder. Try and keep that weight through your left knee, and then we go again. And we try not to shift back either. It's really easy that as we do this one, we tend to we shift back to try and get more movement. So be mindful that the weight stays even between that of the right hand and the left knee. So weight even distribution. If you want to, you can take it if you're not going to move too far, and you can extend the arm up. So if you're not going to shift your weight, you can do the full arm extension. But I find it's easier when we do the full arm extension, it's easier to cheat. So that's why I do the touch shoulder first, because it gets us focusing on the rotation rather than how far we can get our arm back. So we're going to take a quick break again. So quick rest back into child's pose, reaching forward, head between your hands. Couple of deep breaths before we change sides, because I know it can be tricky on the wrists when we're on our hands and knees for a long period of time. And then coming back. Again, resetting if you need to. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Threading through that right hand. Keeping weight through that right knee, touching right shoulder. Rotating up without shifting that weight back. Inhale to thread through. Exhale, touch shoulder. And rotate. And just notice, is one side easier than the other? Could you move one way more than you could move the other? My right side, turning to my right, is a lot stiffer than turning to my left. So notice that, because all these things we can correct. So just make sure that, you know, when you stretch, you do more rotational stretches to that side rather than to your, side that can move better. We want to make sure that we're as even as possible. And if you want to, remember, you can extend the arm up into the air as long as you don't shift that weight. I need to work on these. I'm really stiff to the right. I'm going to take one more. And then we're going to come seated position, legs extended. So if you need to put a cushion under your hips to prop you up a little bit more, then do that so that you're not sort of engaging too much through the through the hip flexors. So sitting up as tall as we can, we're going to take the arms out. We're going to take a deep breath in, turning to the side. And as you exhale, take the hand behind and reach towards your toe. And then inhale up, and then exhale other side. And the more we do, the easier it gets. Make sure that every time you come back to the middle, yes, babe. Okay. Oh. Every time you come back to the middle, you lengthen your spine so that we give each vertebrae room to move, so that we're not sort of grinding on the discs. So we want to give the discs as much space as we can, so that when we turn, we've created that gap between each vertebrae. Lifting up and reaching across. Hopefully it's getting a little bit easier. Hopefully you're feeling a little more mobile. I mean, I hope that you're all a little more mobile than me anyway, but I'm going to take it to one side. We're just going to hold and breathe. So just hold, breathe, and try and relax. If you need to touch your knee, if it's too much to reach for your toes, if you can touch the outside of your little toe, then that's great. Just go as far as you can. A few deep breaths here. And then inhale back to the middle, and then exhale across the other side. Again, notice if one side is more flexible than the other. Make sure that we do a little more to the side that's not so flexible. Really just breathe into it. Remember, if we hold our breath, we create tension. And we actually just want to get rid of the tension. And then come, seated position. So you can cross leg if you can. Again, if it's easier, keep the cushions underneath you so that you're elevated. It's going to be a little bit easier. It doesn't matter if you have your feet out a little bit further either. It's up to you. But we're just going to crawl forward, try and reach as far as you can, and try and push your knees down. Head down. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then just crawling your way back up. Take one hand to the side and then lift and reach across as far as you can. If you want to take the arm out so you can stretch a little further, then go for it. And what we're going to do is from this position, you're going to inhale, you're going to come forward and then sweep around to the other side. And then sweep back. So remember which side you held first, because we will come and hold it on the other side. And then we're just making sure that as we come around to the side, we're evening up the shoulders. So shoulders stack on top of each other. So you should be getting a nice stretch all down your side. And just enjoy it. Nice to take a minute to stretch and do something for ourselves. So then cross to the other side and just hold. So remember, you can lengthen out a little bit. Try and really push that arm that's up, push that hip down into the floor to create as much space between the between your ribs and your hip as you can. And then just coming back to center, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Let's just stretch our neck. So if you want to sit on your couch, sit on a chair, stand up, kneel, whatever you want to do, do that. But drop the shoulder down, tuck the chin and tilt the head. across to the side. Really lengthen through that side of the neck so that you feel it go all the way down into your shoulder. And then change sides. Again, dropping down, tucking the chin, head to the side. And then we'll take both hands behind, tuck the chin, drop down, and just feel the stretch go all the way down your spine. And we're going to finish with one more stretch. So if you want to kneel, I find it's easier to kneel or stand when you do this one. We're going to take the hands behind, just drop down. I'll face the side. Drop them down and then extend them out as far as you can. If it's too uncomfortable, grab a towel. Like if you find it hard to grip, or if your mobility is not that great, grab a towel, take it behind, and then extend. Probably a little bit more comfortable if you do that. Make sure that you don't arch your back too much either. Keep the chin tucked too. I'm going to focus on doing a lot more stretches on my right side. I'm feeling that so much tighter than my left. And then just relax, release. Give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. And then that is us done for today. I'm going to stop the recording.